Welcome to Event Explorer, the podcast where we go behind the scenes of the world's most compelling festivals, experiences, and cultural moments. I'm your host, Daniel Roth. Today, we're heading to Vilnius, Lithuania, a city shaped by centuries of history, layered architecture, and a winter season that calls for light in every sense of the word. My guest is Petras, one of the founders and creative forces behind the Vilnius Light Festival taking place this year. What began as a way to celebrate the city's birthday in the depths of darkest winter has grown into an internationally recognized festival that transforms courtyards, streets, and historic spaces into a living canvas of light, movement, and story. In this conversation, we talk about how Vilnius itself drives the creative direction of the festival, why winter is such a powerful backdrop for public art, and how the festival curates international and local artists, and what it takes to build an experience that feels both visually striking and deeply rooted in place and culture. This is a look at how a city, its history, and contemporary creativity come together to create something truly memorable. Let's explore the Vilnius Light Festival. Petras, welcome. The Vilnius Light Festival has become a moment where history comes to life through its architecture and this great winter atmosphere. Vilnius is known for layers of culture. It's a mix of old and new, and the festival seems to really draw energy from that identity. So today, I want to explore, how the city shapes the festival, how the festival shapes the city, and the creative work that you and your team do behind the scenes to make it all come to brilliant life. So thank you for being here, Petras.
Hello, Daniel. Yeah, first of all, thank you for an invitation. It's really an honor to speak with you, since you are really far away from us. And then I'm really glad that someone from United States decided to speak about Vilnius in our festival. It's really an honor. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to sharing my experience and some other stuff related to the Light Festival.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, I'm hoping everyone in the U.S. that listens to this episode will buy a plane ticket and come over to Lithuania, I'm sure. So
I hope so.
Get the airport ready. Yes, Event Explorer, we really want to, focus on these traditions that people mark time with, that bring people together, that help to celebrate everyday life on a greater level, kind of make our lives more rich. And you and your team are definitely doing that in Vilnius, which is, a northern European country. It's getting cold, just as I'm in Michigan, near Detroit here. Yeah. It's cold, and we all need, especially over the winter, these moments that draw us out, that remind us of the humanity, outside of our warm bubbles. And that's not a new thing. This is, I'm sure in Lithuania, there are a lot of winter traditions that this kind of marries with or comes together with. What's winter like? Tell us a little bit about winter in Vilnius and in Lithuania and kind of the traditions that found their way to making the Light Festival.
All right. So first thing that I would like to say that winter is changing, like I think everywhere in the world. Because if let's say 10 years ago, we were sure that we'll have cold, long winter with a lot of snow, like it was a normal thing, and now we have some uncertainty. We don't know what to expect. For example, we had a few last winters without snow at all, with a positive temperature. So it's changing definitely, and our festival. Vilnius Light Festival were held in different weather conditions. We had a lot of snow, we had a positive temperature, as I already said. So it's really became unpredictable. And speaking about our winter traditions, so like in other countries of Europe and other parts of the world, we have Christmas. We have New Year celebration, and of course now we have Light Festival, which taking place in the end of January. So yeah,
a lot of traditions are kind of front loaded into the winter. I saw that Vilnius is a large Christmas market. It's that kind of beautiful time, traditional time to bring people. Buy your gifts in the center square and everything's decorated. And then we have big pop for New Year's. Everyone comes out and parties and celebrates. And then, as we've heard from other winter festivals, we have 2 months of kind of blah. It gets
Yeah.
darker. They
Yeah.
say people from cold climates are very crafty because we have to stay indoors
Yes.
and
Exactly.
entertain ourselves. But you don't want that. You want people out. You want people out and celebrating. And that's why you've put together this celebration of craft, of light works, of the use of technology, which Lithuania is very known for and has a strong tech scene, vibrant tech scene that maybe not everyone's familiar, but even in my work, I work in the automotive industry. A lot of our tech partners are based in Lithuania because of the strong computer science background.
Yes.
I know that bleeds into this festival as well as a really cool cultural art scene. So the Light Festival, how long has it been going on and what was the motivation for getting this started?
Yeah, so we are getting ready for the 8th edition in January. And the motivation for it, well, there was like obvious reasons, and I would say not obvious. Not obvious, as you already mentioned, like dark period of time, like winter, cold, and automatically you crave for some light, for some warmness, for such things. But it was like, it was more like a coincidence. Because the main reason why Vilnius Light Festival started, it was that the municipality of the city, they wanted to commemorate the birthday of the Vilnius, because official date of Vilnius birthday is 25th of January, and it's related to the letters of the Duke of Lithuania, like the founder of the city of Vilnius city, Grand Duke Gediminas. More than 700 years ago, he was sending letters to Western Europe, and he tried to invite like different craftsmen, sellers, like people from different fields. Like, he just wanted to put Vilnius on the map of Europe. And one of his letters, it's still existing. And the date on this letter is 25th of January. So this is like the date of the Vilnius birthday. And and as I already mentioned, like this is a good coincidence that we have like end of January when we really need more light, more warmness. We have birthday, so the idea of Light Festival occurred in these conditions. And in 2019, we held the first edition of Vilnius Light Festival in the old town of Vilnius, in our capital city. And as I already said, we're getting ready for the 8th edition.
Incredible. So this is, what we were just discussing. The same call. It's cold, it's dark. The Duke is, obviously there's trade. He's a merchant and a leader in the town and wants to get people, establish what is now a thriving city and a culturally artistic, a city known for its cultural artistry. And so now we're kind of continuing that tradition on today. So what was that like? How did the process go about to make the Light Festival the way that we were going to celebrate this birthday for Vilnius?
Like, well, I before Light Festival, I will speak a little bit about me just to explain it better. Yeah, because I was working at other Light Festival in small neighborhood, in one of the neighborhoods in Vilnius called Pilaitė. So it was the very first Light Festival in the whole Lithuania. One guy, the director of the small cultural center in that neighborhood, he went somewhere in Europe and he saw a Light Festival. I don't know which one. He really liked this idea and he decided to do it in Vilnius. And it's begun like a really small event, local event. He organized 7 editions. And during last 2 editions, in 2016 and 17, I was the part of the team. So, and after the last one festival, after some time, people from municipality, they reached out to us with the idea to organize a big, proper Light Festival in the city center. So that's how we got a proposal to do it, and then we made it for the first time, and it was still we're still doing it till
Incredible.
today.
So
Yeah.
what a dream to so it really is what we'd say grassroots or from the people, from a group of artists that just wanted to make life more interesting, make life better, show their art, and the city recognizes this and says, what can we do to amplify? So how has working with the municipality helped to grow the festival? Have they provided sponsorship? Have you connected with businesses and leaders in the city
Yeah.
to help fund and secure everything for the festival?
Yeah. So the first of all, of course, is finances. That municipality has much more financial capabilities. So they just offered to join them to work in one of the cultural organizations of Vilnius city, and just to continue our like mission,
Mm-hmm.
to continue our event. And but the whole process pretty same. Like we are not an artist, we're like curators. uh, we do the same, that we reached out artists. We're looking for some interesting projects that we would like to present, and we need to organize everything, like from an artistic idea till the, I don't know, transportation of the artwork. Like we begin with artistic plans and we end with the technical things. So we're doing the same. And the main help from the city is like financial.
Sure.
And and I don't know if I can say that it's a help. Like I'm a part of now at this moment, I'm part of the city's, like, not municipality, but the organization of the municipality. So yeah, and we just continue our work and doing this
Yeah.
festival.
And this probably wasn't where you didn't think maybe that you'd be working for the city one day or something, you're more art focused. So
Yeah.
that's incredible. I mean, it takes, obviously people on the committee with the city saw, the opportunity here. What was the first years like, and then how has it grown? Obviously, I would think COVID affected, though we've heard you can do with light festivals, you can be outdoors. So
Yeah.
did you still exist throughout COVID, and then how has it grown kind of after that shock?
Yeah, so the first time it was quite difficult, I would say, because like it was a new territory, first of all, like whole town. Because before we were working in the nature, our festival was in the like kind of forest, kind of park, and it was like totally different because you have urban area and you have like nature. This is two completely different things. So yeah, first year was difficult. It was like everything new for me, and not only me, but we managed this. It was quite decent light festival, I would say. Of course, when I'm looking back at it now, maybe I would change some decision, but still, it was like first time. Like it was all right. And now, of course, we have more experience. Some things are easier, but we strive for bigger projects, and each year you face new challenges, and you keep growing. The festival also growing. So yeah, and speaking about the COVID, I would say that yeah, COVID was a big challenge for everyone. That's obviously, but also it brought some new opportunities because, like, as you already understand, our festival is in the end of January. Like, but we had that year, 2020, I think,
Mm-hmm.
when we had to cancel our event, and we decided not to cancel. We decided to postpone it to the summer. Yeah, and during the summer, like it was more freedom in Lithuania, in Europe. I don't know, maybe in other parts of the world in terms of like gatherings, people gatherings. And I think we were the only light festival in Europe which decided to do it. So I think after that year, after that summer, we gained much more popularity because we were the only ones who decided to do it. So it was like a good opportunity for us as well.
That's great. And so what you're describing too is the content, the art exhibits that take place at the Light Festival. You research them, you'll go visit other light festivals, and so you're curating a lineup, or you're curating artists and collaborating with them to bring them in. So I imagine, that year they felt your hospitality. They saw what a beautiful location it was. So I'm sure some of those artists were impressed, and that have they been some of the people that have come back and returned and brought new exhibits with them?
Well, I think a lot of our guests were impressed by our city because it's really beautiful. I don't know if you have been to Lithuania, to Vilnius, but
not yet.
yeah.
Not yet. Now I'm more and more intrigued. So hey, let's do it. Let's book a plane ticket.
Yeah. So you should come also. Okay. Yeah. So could you repeat your question once again, please?
So basically, it's just so interesting to think of like the Duke did 700 years ago. You now have to be an emissary. You have to draw people to your city. How do you go about the curation process of finding these artists and these exhibits and bringing them in?
Yeah, so basically each year I would say that our approach is different. But usually it begins with some exact project. For example, I went to other festival, or maybe I saw it on the internet somewhere, and I really like it, and I see that it would work in some of the surroundings in Vilnius. And then I reach out that artist or collective. I exchange information with them, like financial, technical things, all of that stuff, and then this is like a first step. For example, you have one big impressive project, so we try to build other projects around it. So this is like traditional situation, I would say. But we had different experiences when we started with a local artist, that we had several artworks that match each other, like artistically, and we try, like, I would say like that. You need to make a first step, and first step could be different. It could be one big project from abroad. It could be projects, some local project, and you need something to begin with, and then to build everything around it. And and of course, I can't forget to mention our city, because it's also very important, like locations, surroundings, where we can play something, where we cannot play something. So because we really focus on the synergy of art and the architecture of the city, of the old town, of the history, we always try to reveal it for the audience, to show them something new, to experience some places that they never been, and despite the fact that they live in the city. So yeah, it's always space for some new openings.
Speaking of space, so you're in Old Town, which is kind of the romantic architecture, beautiful architecture.
Yeah.
How do you find what are the spaces like that you inhabit, and how do you kind of figure out what artwork to place where?
Well, the main criteria, I would say, it's technical things, because let's say one artwork needs a lot of space, other artwork needs less space, or maybe you need to hang up something somewhere. So usually it's technical stuff, like just like very objective reasons, And during our second edition, we decided to do, like, it was not a theme of the festival, but like I don't know, approach of the festival, like approach for the locations. We decided to place each installation in the courtyard, like, because we have a lot of cozy, different, nice courtyards in the old town. So we thought that this is a good idea, and we wanted to place each installation in separate courtyard. It was really, I would say, good decision, because you don't have light pollution, you don't have sound pollution, you don't have I don't know, a lot of things that would disturb the experience for the visitor, like his experience when he's enjoying the art. So it was like idea for the one time. Then after that, we placed a lot of installations in the squares, in the streets, like, totally different approach. But as well, we realized that when we place in the projects in the courtyards, it's really amazing, like, because usually a lot of them is closed, just in everyday life. Like you can't, of course, some of them are open. You can go there just to explore it, but some of them are closed. And we decided, like, it became like, how to say, it became like our tradition, I would say.
Sure.
The most part of the artworks usually placed in the courtyards, because we can close it for the night. It's safe. As I already said, we don't have light pollution, sound pollution. We don't have any cars, around it. So it's really, really convenient, I would say. And of course, in that way, you can explore the city, as I also already mentioned. You can explore some unknown places. So, and then you have the synergy of that really nice courtyard and the artwork, let's say.
So these are some historic buildings and buildings that are privately owned, or publicly historic kind of museum-ish buildings.
Yes.
They collaborate with you and your team. Maybe they're a little uncomfortable, at first, I would think, so, to say, well, we're going to let all these people in. What's this crazy artwork going to be? But in the end, it brings so much value. So now I imagine you make like a map with the artworks, and people can tour around. The restaurants and bars must love this, especially in the winter, that people are stopping by. Is there now like even a food and beverage program, or you kind of work with different shops and restaurants and things to be part of the program too?
No, it's like we have just like a separate zone with some food trucks, with some drinks and music, but it's really cozy. It's not so big, and but we have a lot of people in the streets, so automatically they go take some hot cup of coffee or tea or something else. So we bring a lot of people outside, and I think restaurants, cafes, and other and shops, I don't know, they benefit from that.
Sure, a little pop, over the weekend in winter.
Yes.
Okay, well, we're talking, a few weeks out from this year's festival. I'm sure you and the team are hard at work. I'd love to hear a little bit about the theme and the locations this year. How is it different a little bit from last year, and what are you really excited for?
Oh, this is the most difficult question, I think. I don't know.
A lot.
Oh yeah, I don't know what begin to. Like, of course, the program will be different artworks, different projects. We will have like the biggest part of the program is artists from abroad. It's like international program, because Lithuania, we don't have a lot of like light artists in Lithuania, but we always try to include them as much as we can, and they keep the quality of the festival at our desirable level.
Mm-hmm.
So this year we aim to have 15 artworks. Not all of them are already confirmed, but we are finalizing it, and we will have 4 local artists and 11 artists and collectives from abroad. The locations, some of them will be the same as we had, because the old town is not that big, we need to repeat it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but as always, there will be a few new places, and I always like new places, because it could be like, I don't know, something unexpected for the visitor, something new.
Yeah.
And I think
so it allows people to explore again. Are there are some of the artists from abroad signed up already? Are there some where are artists coming from this year?
Maybe from European countries, but we have one project from Canada, then Germany, France, Netherlands, Italy, Lithuania, of course. I think we will have like artists and collectives from 8 countries, if I remember right. So the main of them are from Europe, but there will be one project from Canada as well.
What qualities do you look for? What makes a great light festival piece that you want to bring to Lithuania, to Vilnius?
I would say it must be a good idea, and it should be like visually striking. Like this is the two main criterias, and that's the first two criterias that we are looking into. Mm-hmm. So it should be like really visually like appealing, and of course there should be some good like background of it, like idea. This is the main things. And after that, it goes all other criteria like technical things, financial things. I know logistics. Because sometimes, since it's a old town, since you can't bring something just into the courtyard just physically. We had such experiences as well. So yeah, so this is the main two things for us. It should be really nice looking. Like, something memorable.
Yeah.
And the idea, yeah.
Some of them, we say light, but there's a lot of audio as well. That
Yeah.
It looks like a lot of the pieces. I mean, it's a little heady of a subject. People say like time-based art, that it is art that you have to sit and observe and kind of feel.
Yeah.
It's not just a light sculpture. That doesn't. Most of the art pieces that I see, we can share some video.
Yeah.
Are they do things? It's not just a beautiful light. It is kind of telling a story without words, or it's expressing some type of the artist's thought in motion and light. It is, and then there's almost almost a little humorous. I think like. I saw that you took the statue, I think, of the Duke and added lighting to him.
Yeah.
So and then there's also video integration, I think, too, right? And that is you utilize the architecture of the buildings and things like that to project on. With very bright projectors. Do people conform or are they inspired by Vilnius to create new artworks? Even people from abroad, do they research and integrate some of the city and the history to the festival?
Yeah, so you touched very good point that I forget to mention. Yeah, also the very important criteria for us to have some dynamic projects linked. Not only like a light sculptures. Of course, we had such artworks as well, but usually we aim to have something moving, telling the story, rotating. I don't know. Like a living organism, something like that. So this is very important thing. And talking about artists from abroad, usually when we want to bring something from abroad, it's already created, mm-hmm. And it has some background, it has some idea. So when we are talking about the new pieces, usually they are made by local artists, because this is the kind of like, support for them, that we can support them financially, and not only financially, to give them like a good platform to show their activity, to show their works. So usually new pieces coming from local artists, and from abroad, we are bringing already existing pieces. So this is our approach. Yeah.
So I think what I'm hearing is that the festival itself has helped bring the art scene and the light art and video art scene up in Vilnius. Is there now more people doing this type of artwork than when you started?
Well, I can't tell you that more people are doing it, but what I definitely can say, that audiences became more educated, and
sure.
And they understand art much, like this kind of art, like interactive installations, video mapping, some light sculptures, and something else. Because always after the festival, I need to read comments on social media, and each year I think that each year we are getting better, but each year we receive more comments that last year it was better, So it tells me one thing, that people getting into it like more and more and understand it better. So yeah, I would answer your question in that way.
Yeah, that's amazing. So you're developing the audience kind of taste, and you're exposing
Yeah,
them to inspirations from around Europe, around the world of
yeah,
art. You know, a lot of the art that you're seeing with motors, with LED lights, with video
yeah.
projection mapping. This isn't art that existed 10, maybe 15 years ago.
Yes,
It's these are
exactly.
brand new art forms.
Yes,
So
yes.
you know, hopefully the child, you know, that's 8 years old that is visiting this for the first time, when they turn 18 and they're graduating from school, they go into engineering, or they go into art in it with a whole different frame of reference than would have happened. I mean, you particularly, I imagine, maybe through music, through electronic music or something, found this type of light
Yeah,
art, or you know, it kind of always accompanied that, and now, and I've been following this too. Now this art is becoming its own thing. I mean, there were early abstract artists like Donald Flavin and things like that, you know, early American kind of light artists, but
yeah,
it was way off to the side, and now this is downtown in Vilnius, that you know, and it's something that the city saw value in and now continues to support. I mean, yeah, I think it's incredible. Have you found now that you are now more of a mature festival maybe than even some that have begun more recently, is there with light festivals, I mentioned before we started recording, talking to the Portland Light Festival people who I interviewed, Alicia, amazing woman last year who
yeah.
runs that. Is there a community? Do you speak with other festivals and kind of share great exhibits, or share how you're managing?
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. Like I want to emphasize that community of the light festivals, at least in Europe, it's very friendly. Like there is an even organization, ILO, International Light Festivals Organization, and it unites different light festivals from around from the not even Europe. I think like you have an amazing light festival in Seattle, Borealis, I think it's called.
Hmm.
Yeah, so they also part of this organization. They always organizing some meetings, for example, in one or other festival. I think this year it was held in Graz in Austria, and yeah, like this community is really friendly and really helping. And for example, some curators from other festivals, they're coming to Vilnius, and for example, during the festival, other festival to visit them, you know. So, and if I need, for example, some, I don't know, help with one or other installation, like technically wise, I can call that organizer, I can text him or her and ask what was your experience, like maybe you have advice on this or on that. So yeah, we are really friendly, and I'm really happy with that, because it's amazing. Like it's, you always can find some support, some help, and similar stuff, like, you know.
Yeah. And it's so necessary, especially in a bit of a niche. I mean, you're not just putting a stage up and throwing a band up there and
Yeah,
here's
yeah,
our festival. This is something that takes a lot of thought and technical knowledge, like you're saying.
yeah,
But the
exactly.
audience doesn't need that knowledge. You know, the audience just needs to come experience. What's your kind of pitch? How do you sell the festival to get people to come? If they were going to come for the first time this year, how would you advise them to approach the festival and to experience Vilnius while they're in town?
Well, the first selling point, I would say, is just time of the year, that you don't have a lot to do. In the end of January, it's cold, it's dark, and you have a big like festival in the city center. Usually, the road's not more than 2 kilometers, right? So everything is walkable,
Mm.
and in the distance of 2 kilometers, you can experience at least 15 really good artworks, interactive artworks, something absolutely new, as you mentioned. Like this is like a new wave of the art for like that didn't exist 15 years ago. See, of course, there was some, I don't know, some project, something, but it's evolving every year. So So this is the main things. And time of the year, the like compact road of the festival, a lot of projects, really exciting
I
projects.
imagine they get to maybe interact with the artists, or do people give talks and explanations and things throughout? Is there a way that they can learn more, go deeper as they experience the festival?
Well, it depends on the artist and on the artwork. For example, like a few years ago, we had like an artwork, interactive artwork, where people need to touch kind of ball, and then the lights turns on. Like, it's difficult to explain.
Sure.
You need to experience it.
We'll share
And
some
for
video,
example, yeah, and for example, that artist, he spent all the time near his installation. He was speaking to the audience. He tried to explain them like. It depends, yeah. For example, sometimes we have like volunteers who are taking a look at that festival, and they need to explain how it works, how it reacts, what visitor needs to do. But some things it's just like, for example, video mapping project. Like you just stand, you observe, enjoy, and like this, yeah. But we always try to share something interesting. In our communication, social media, or in our public press releases. So that way, I would say we are in touch with our visitors.
Excellent. So come to the town, experience something you may never have experienced before.
Yeah.
And also, if you haven't been to Vilnius, a very warm, progressive town that has to be seen. It just looks so beautiful from the photos and pictures that I've seen and that we can share. I want to thank you so much for joining today. I will, I look forward to seeing the festival grow. I think, as you get towards 10 years,
yeah,
that really is going to be a significant landmark of hey, we are. Let's go for 100. At that point,
yeah,
it becomes this permanent thing, and I think you're on the right trajectory for it. Also, it seems like you manage the size in a nice way that really fits into the city and becomes something that's not too much of a burden that will become out of control. It's something that you can curate and just make each artist makes their artwork, but then you make the overall experience. You're a team, and you're doing that in a very cool, responsible way. So I just applaud you and the team for that. We'll share this with the network, and hopefully, if they're not in Vilnius, they'll watch from abroad as you share all the great photos and video of this year's festival.
Thank you, Daniel. Thank you for the kind words. Yeah,
also. Pleasure. Pleasure. All right, take care.
Thank you.
That was my conversation with Petras from the Vilnius Light Festival. What stood out to me is how intentionally this festival is built around the city itself, not just as a backdrop, but as an active partner in the experience. From hidden courtyards to historic architecture, the festival invites people to rediscover Vilnius through light, movement, and storytelling at a time of year where the city needs it most. Now, if you enjoyed this podcast, make sure you are subscribed to Event Explorer wherever you listen to your podcasts. Subscribing helps more people discover the show. You can also support the podcast by leaving a rating or review. It really makes a difference. For visuals, behind-the-scenes moments, and updates on upcoming episodes, follow Event Explorer on social media. And if you know someone who loves festivals, public art, or creative city making, share this episode. I am your host, Daniel Roth. Thanks for joining, and until next time, happy exploring.